Alright, this is a video on predicting how much traffic a YouTube video will get. And this is really important when you are considering approaching a video owner for a possible link arrangement, or to put a link in their site, or even to purchase their account outright, or any kind of an arrangement or a relationship like that. It's important that first you do some due diligence to make sure that the traffic that that video has is going to last. So we're going to talk about that in this video. Now, we've created a tool for you. It's a real simple tool here that will give you the daily views of a video. And this is really important because, say if we take a video like this and we look at the statistics down here, sometimes these statistics are publicly disabled and you can't even see them. But most YouTube videos, you can see the statistics, and this will give you, I've talked about this in other videos in this course, but this will give you a general view of the trend of the traffic. And what you want to look for is a steady uptrend. You don't want to see big spikes, and you don't want to see huge spikes, or even if it goes straight up and then levels off is usually a bad sign. And if you click show more events, usually you can see the types of events that have precipitated a spike in traffic. And in general, spikes are bad. You don't want them to get a huge spike in traffic that comes from being embedded in a real popular blog, or maybe going viral for about a day or two and then petering out. You don't want to see that kind of stuff. You want to see a steady uptrend, and you want to see a lot of views coming from a lot of different sources, specifically from YouTube search and from Google search. Those are the two things you really want to see. And those are the best indications of steady traffic, because they depend on search volume, which is usually quite steady. Unless the search phrases are just searches for the video itself, sometimes that can be deceiving. But in general, you want to see a steady uptrend in traffic. Now, but the problem with the YouTube statistics is that they don't give you a daily number. It's real general, and these numbers here, there's not much granularity there in the data. You can't really see daily views. And so really, the only way you used to be able to get a daily view count, there were some tools that we used to use, but now they have they're no longer available. So then you ended up having to go to the video every day and just take a look the same time every day, and just take a look at the view count and then mark that down, which is obviously really tedious, and it's not even really sustainable if you're trying to make a lot of these type of arrangements with video owners. So what we've done is we've created a tool where you can actually just keep track of your own view count for any video you're looking for, and you can just copy this little code here after the V colon. This is a unique identifier that all YouTube videos have, and you can put it in our tool. So this video that I just showed you, we've been tracking for a while, and so if you put in, and there's another video in the course that talks more about this YouTube scraper and how to use it specifically, so I'm not going to go into the details, but this one we set up a while ago, so it's already been tracking for a little while. So you paste that unique identifier in, or the YouTube URL in, and then you click show videos and statistics. And Aubrey showed you in another video how you can turn this information here into a nice looking graph that can really help you to figure out if you want that YouTube traffic, if you want to pursue that video owner. But what I'm going to do is a little bit different. One of the things you want to look at is the exact number of views that it's getting per day. And so what I do is, just like what Aubrey did, I copy it in and then I put it into Excel, which I've already done here. And then we're going to do a quick little formula, and if you're not into math, don't worry, this is going to be very simple. You want to do this exact thing that I'm doing. Okay, you want to type an equal sign. Okay, then you want to go to the cell just to the left of the equal sign. Then you want to put a minus sign. Okay, and then you want to go to the cell just above You can actually just type this in if you want as well. And so what this is going to do is it's going to take the number 27740 and it's going to subtract 27724. That's a little formula. And then you hit enter and it'll do the math problem for you. And then what you can do, so this number 16 is the number of views that this video got on December 29th, 2013, or January 29th, 2013, and that's showing that view count, because obviously I subtracted the bigger number, the total views, from the 29th, and I subtracted the total views from that number of the 28th. And then what you can do is Excel has this handy dandy tool here. If you go to the lower right hand corner of any cell, you see a little plus appears, and then you just click with your mouse and you drag it down. Hold down your mouse button and drag down. And what that's going to do is that's going to copy that formula into every cell, and it'll change the numbers in the cell to what they need to be to make that, it'll adjust that for each row, auto adjust the number, the letters of the columns and the numbers of the rows. And so there we go, boom. And now you can see, if I click in there, you can see the formula up here has been changed to match every single row, and it changes as you go up the rows. So now what we have is a nice clean row with the clear view count amount for every single day for this video. And so you can do this as long as you need to on any video, and this is really important because this is going to tell you how many views the thing is getting in general. Now you can even do this if you want to take a specified period of time with Excel and you highlight, so you click and highlight, drag down with your mouse the entire column, and then you go directly below into the one empty column right down here that's at the very bottom of the row, and then you go up here to your sum button and you click on average. And what it's going to do is it's going to give you, if you can look down at the bottom here, it's going to give you the average number of views per day that this video has received over the last couple of weeks that we've been tracking it. And so that's going to help you. Now obviously this video, the numbers are way too low for you to ever want to pursue a relationship with 32 views per day, and you figure some small percentage of that is going to click through to your link in the description. There's just no way that that's even worth it. But it does give, this is just an example for you where you can see how to use this Excel spreadsheet and to use this data to help you figure out what you want to do with that specific video owner. Now the nice thing you can do is after you do a number of these and you set up some arrangements with video owners, then you're going to have even better information, because you're going to have a clear number from that video owner. Say, if a video gets 32 views per day, I know exactly how much traffic a link in the description area is going to get me in this specific niche with that specific number. So then if you track another video and you find that video also gets the same general amount, average views per day, then you can pretty much estimate that you're going to get the same amount of traffic from the new video that you're considering by comparing it to an old video. That's going to be sort of like your benchmark number to help you to, or not your benchmark rather, but your reference number, so you can help to evaluate other relationships in the future once you know how much traffic you can expect from a video depending on how many views it gets per day. Because for you, you're going to be in a certain niche, and the click-through rates are going to be a certain click-through rate for that niche. The level of interest in the description area for that niche is going to be different depending on the niche, and the passion of your video viewers is going to be different. So it really is going to change from niche to niche. So that's why you want to establish some points of reference, some video relationships with video owners, and where you figured out how much traffic you're getting per view. So you might figure out that, hey, for every 10 views I get 1 click to my site, and so I can expect from a video like this I'm going to get 3 clicks per day because there's only 30 views per day. And those are the types of estimates you're going to need to make for your own niche and your own specific market. Now, in general, I would try to operate on a worst case scenario in this situation. I would, especially if you're going into it cold and you really don't know how much traffic to expect, what I would do is I would multiply the average number of clicks per day, the average number of views per day that a video is getting, and multiply that times 0.5%. So let's just assume this is a worst case scenario that only 0.5% of the video viewers total are going to click through to your site. And you can do this with Excel as well. All you do is click equal, and then you're going to click the cell of the total there. G28 is the cell, and then you're going to click your ampersand sign. Then you're going to do 0.005. That's 0.5%, and then you're going to click there. So, and that's going to be your total traffic per day that you can expect from that video. And obviously it's way too low, but for a lot of these, a lot of YouTube videos have a massive amounts of views per day. For instance, let's do let's say it gets 100,000 views per day, which is not a lot by YouTube standards. Then you could expect 500 visits per day to the link in your description. And there's definitely some really popular videos out there that are getting this kind of traffic. But let's say even less. Let's say it gets 100 views per day. I'm sorry, 200 views per day. Then which is pretty small amount for YouTube. Then you're talking about 1 visit per day, or 30 total clicks per month, which is not that much, but it adds up if you set up these relationships with a lot of different video owners. So you get the idea for kind of the numbers that we're working with here. So from there, you want to make sure you watch the value per visitor video that's also in this members area, so that you know exactly how much each visitor is worth to you. And then you know how much money you can spend on this traffic and still break even, or how much you need to spend, the minimum amount you need to spend, and still make a profit. And that's going to help you figure out what to offer that video owner in your specific arrangement that you're making with them. So, but let's just go, for the sake of the numbers, let's just go up a little bit so I can make this a little clearer. So let's say we have a video that's getting 1,000 views per day, pretty steady. That's going to be 5 visitors per day. Now let's say I have figured out, I've watched the value per visitor video in this members area, and I figured out that I can afford to pay 20 cents per visitor and still make a profit. So then, to figure out how much to pay this video owner for this traffic, I know that if I spend $5, let me just clear this out, not $5, I'm sorry, that if I have 5 clicks per day and I spend 20 cents on those visitors, 5 times 20, I spend 20 cents on each visitor, that's going to be $1 per day. So that's telling me if I spend $1 per day on this visit, on this traffic, I can still make a profit. And let's multiply that by 30. That means I can afford to pay this guy $30 a month for a link in his video and still make a profit. Now, you can see how important it is to really know your numbers, to know your value per visitor, to know even if it's an affiliate offer or even if it's your own product, to know how much can I afford to pay per visitor and still be profitable. Because that helps you to figure out what kind of offers you can make, and it also helps you to know when something is a really good deal. For someone like this, with 1,000 views a day, they might think 30 bucks a month is too cheap. You know, they think their video views are worth a lot more, and so they might not be willing to negotiate down to that amount. But you know your numbers, so you know exactly what you're willing to do, exactly the lowest amount you're willing to pay, or I mean exactly the highest amount you're willing to pay, because you know if you pay more than that, you're not going to be profitable. So it's really important that you know your numbers and that you use this spreadsheet and figure stuff out ahead of time before you approach these video owners. Now the thing about it is, I'd be willing to bet that someone with a video getting 1,000 views per day isn't making 30 bucks a month on that video. Most of these folks don't have their stuff optimized very well. They don't know what they're doing, or maybe they didn't even upload the video intending to make any money at all. And so I'd be pretty sure that these folks aren't making 30 bucks a day on a video with 1,000 views a day. So you know, you're going to have to get to know in your own niche. It's probably going to depend on how savvy they are and how much value the traffic is in that niche. So you're going to have to get to know this yourself, how much these specific video owners in your niche are willing to pay or willing to take for a link, or even outright purchase of their account. But probably you're going to be able to offer them more than they are making through their AdSense, just because you know your numbers and you know how to market and you know how to make money off of an offer where they might not. Now once you've figured out how much you can pay, you've run your numbers and you know what you're willing to offer, then it's time to go out and make some arrangements. Now with this specific video that we are talking about here, what you need to do is you go in and you go and click on the username of the person who uploaded the video, and then you're going to find the place on their page where it says buy username right here. Now this might change depending on the layout of their specific user page, and YouTube's layout might change, but usually on every user page is a place where you can contact them. So here you have a drop down here and it says send message, and you're going to click send message to them. And this is really the best way to do it, because you want to make sure that you get their username exact. You can also click the compose button and just type in their username, but then sometimes you risk making a mistake or spelling it wrong, and sometimes these things are spelled all weird. And so if you just use that send message link on the user page, that's really the best way to do it. And this is the text that I encourage you to write. Now I would encourage you to use this exact theme, this exact template. You can modify it a little bit maybe according to your niche, but especially the subject line is really important. Can I donate X amount to your video, and then insert the video title. It's important to use the word donate, just because now some of these YouTubers might be really commercial type enterprises. They're really looking to monetize and make money on it, but some of these folks are looking at their YouTube accounts as a nonprofit type thing. It's just something they're doing as a hobby or something they're doing for the good of mankind, and so the donate word helps them to get out of that frame of mind of, hey, I'm being solicited here, that you're wanting to make a donation to something that they've simply uploaded as a work of art or a work of their own expression, is a good way to break the ice. Then I noticed that and then insert their video title. Video is very popular. I'd be willing to pay X per month if you place my link on and then insert the YouTube URL. It's important you insert the exact URL there so they know what video you're talking about there. If you place my link on your X YouTube video page in the description box right below the video, shoot me back a message if you're interested, and then your name. This is really important that you use this text. This is the text I've tested out a lot of different texts. It's the text I've gotten the best response on, and it really, especially that subject line, but it's important that you be really specific about what video you're talking about, what the description box is. And sometimes I have folks that don't understand what I mean. If they're really not that savvy at all, they might not even understand what the description box is. So sometimes I send them a little screenshot of the description box so they know what I'm talking about. I've done that in the past. But in general, I would try to stick with this template. Also, don't give up at first. Sometimes they won't answer your first email that you send, and then you need to send them another email, and sometimes I'll just insert a quick sentence that just says up here at the top, hey, I noticed I sent you this message back and never heard back. Did you get it? Here's the message. And then I'll just do like a straight line going across like that. And that way they can get the message that you mean business, you're really interested in this, and it's not just a bot or something emailing them. You know that you're a real person. Sometimes in the past I had to email folks twice, especially if they're a real popular video owner, if they have a lot of activity on their account, a lot of videos and messages flying around. So don't get discouraged. Definitely send an follow-up email, follow-up message if you don't hear from them at first. So get out there and set up some arrangements.